Alright, so let's get straight to the point. This is my squat section. It's actually my box squat section so that I can improve my deadlift. And I figure I need to work on some full squats, so that's why I decided to warm up with. One of the things I try to put a lot of emphasis on is getting good bottom position of the squat. And if you're trying to really get a good squat, you do want to get to the bottom. And if you're really tight and you have trouble getting down there, I'll tell you right now, if you work on getting to the bottom and you work on your position, you work on your flexibility, and you just work on squatting down ass to grass, you'll get better at it. That's how it works. The more you train in a specific range of motion, the better you're going to get. Like, one of my things my body's very proficient in is a bench press. I have a very good bench press form. It's how my body's set up. I have some overloading pattern problems, which is giving me some shoulder impingement, but I have very efficient movement with the bench press because I've done bench press so many times. Whereas squatting ass to grass is probably like 1/10 the amount, maybe even less, 1/10 or maybe 1/15 of what I've done in bench press. And a big part of that is experience. So the more experience you have at doing something, the better you're going to get at it. And essentially that's the same thing with squatting. Like, so if you can't squat to the bottom and you're a young kid or you're fairly young, I would just start right away, get used to it, get some light weights, and just work on getting to the bottom. And the reason for this is because you're going to get better development and you're going to get better overall lower risk of injury. And that's kind of one of the things I try to teach, is prevent people from getting hurt. Now here's 225 as I warm up. Now, a lot of people, some people like using Olympic lifting shoes, some people don't. One of the reasons why I use Olympic lifting shoes is I'm actually just trying them out. I'm not exactly sure if I like them. The heels are kind of high, they're really high, which is what they're meant to be. But I'm honestly debating whether I'm going to return them. Okay, so here's my first set of box squats. Deadlift Stance Box Squats. Now, what is the purpose of this? The purpose of this is to simulate the same leg drive as a deadlift. So the idea is here that you're trying to simulate a deadlift leg drive. So here's 405. This is not a weight I can normally squat at all. The most I've ever squatted was 360. And what I'm doing is I'm just trying to keep my feet fairly close. This is about my deadlift foot position. And I'm finding, and this is 425 pounds, and one of the cool things about overloading the weight is what you're doing is you get a chance to actually work a lot of your core. And you also get a chance to work your quads in a way that is going to benefit the deadlift. After doing a set with 425, I decided to drop back down to 405. For some reason, I'm having a real tough time keeping my shoulder blades tight. My chest muscles are just so tight, and because of this poor flexibility in my shoulders, hurting my elbows. They're giving me some problems in my elbows. So here's 325. One of the reasons why I'm wearing knee wraps is my knees have been bothering me from my high volume training, doing lots of squats every day. And I want to say this weight here is 325, maybe 355. And again, you always have to think that depending on what you're training for, whether it's powerlifting, strength, or bodybuilding, all you're doing is training. You're training to get better. And in my case, I'm training to get better and stronger. I do want to build muscle. I do want to put on size. I actually want to get stronger as well. But all I'm doing is I'm giving myself different stimuli, so that way my body can get strong or get better in the way that I want to get better. In that case, is be strong. Here I'm wearing some knee wraps. I wrap them around really tight so I can go back into some deep squatting, but I kind of made them too tight and they feel a little uncomfortable at the bottom. The only time I wear knee wraps is when my knee bugs me, and knee kind of comes and goes with the pain. It's more of a quadricep tendonitis. I get this really stiff pain in my left quad typically. Sometimes my right, but mostly my left. Alright, so that's pretty much my squat session. Took about 50 minutes. Took a long time, but this is what you gotta do when you want to get good at something. Thanks for watching.